I'll be right back.
Okay, we
While
are
you're,
live. We're live.
we're live.
We're live. All right. Anybody tuning in? Welcome to the Otters Den this evening. I am sharing this out real quick while everybody has a chance to jump on. It's not me and Joni tonight. It is me and my teammate from Cobra Paranormal, Michelle Dyer. We have a special little announcement, which I'll be repeating all this as soon as people jump on. All right. Get that volume down. There is a little bit of a lag, so
We will do the best we can.
and one more. Okay, that is muted already. I'm gonna share that out. All right, there we are. Hey, Jolene, how you doing, girl? You behaving yourself? That's a trick question.
Isn't it always?
She's on real accurate. She keeps me on my toes.
Hey, it takes a village, man.
It does. Okay, here's the cool trick. Ready? Watch the
Get
screen.
okay. Oh, hey, I like that.
Yeah, so if somebody gets a comment or something and I can't get a word in edgewise, I can click that, put it on there so the guest can see it.
Yeah, because I'm not running the comment section today.
That's right. That's right. All right. Let me see here. I was hoping some more people would jump on quicker. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Decline. You can't make this up.
No, you really can't. When it's the two of us, it's gonna just go.
Hang on. Let me just fix this real quick again. Okay. All right, Jillian. I'm glad you are doing good. Double check to make sure we are still feeding. Okay. Plus, with those other pages open, I can kind of gauge who's watching from who. What?
Sure.
Not who. Where? Ha.
I knew what you meant.
Okay. I'm glad. I'm glad you did. All right. Normally on Monday nights we have Joni on with me, and we kind of go over, which planet is beating the hell out of us at which time of the month. Um,
Good job, Jolene.
but Jolene had some things she had to get done tonight, so perfect opportunity to bring Michelle on. We were actually going to bring her on after Joni and I got off early, later, but it just worked out. Here we are. We kind of have a little special announcement. We are going to start doing a new segment to the Otter's Den on Thursdays, and we are going to call it
The Forgotten Serial Chronicles.
Nailed It.
I
Yay!
remembered.
Yes. Okay, at this point, I'm going to let you take the reins and just kind of explain what your plans are.
All right. So we have decided, we have decided that in this series, we are going to discover the lesser known serial killers. So everybody knows the great big names: Zodiac, BTK, the list goes on and on and on. We have decided to select lesser known killers who have had at least 5 or less murders that are within confession. It's a way to not only recognize them and also keep in mind that you do have small scale out there. It's not just the big ones, but also help remember, you know, the victims' families. We're going to kind of go into detail, you know, running certain little experiments for synchronicities, you know, just kind of go through all of that. Each week, we'll try to feature a new killer with new details, new facts. Any questions? Obviously, we're looking for audience participation. Yeah.
Absolutely. The more the audience participates, the better the show, the more information we can get out. You know, we can get some questions, we can get those answered. You know, and if we don't know the answer by chance, we can, you know, look it up and hopefully get back to you, or do a little quick Googling on the side, you know.
Exactly. And one of the things to keep in mind is that you know, with every killer, there could be a pattern that emerges that, you know, maybe police or evidence don't necessarily pick up upon.
Hmm.
We all know that even though he's large scale, but just for comparison, the Zodiac killer, who has never been captured or identified, you know, going through all these little ones and, you know, reviewing evidence, reviewing all of that great stuff, something could emerge that could be helpful to help bring rest and closure.
Goosies.
Goosies. See,
Love
number
goosies.
4. That's the 4th time. That always seems to be the thing.
I have this. If you see me doing this, or you know, move, I'm trying to get my hand on the screen because I keep forgetting that everything is reversed, and
Yes.
it drives me nuts. It really
Yes.
does. So I'll apologize, but I'll get used to it eventually.
I picked up on that when we hopped on. I was like, ooh, everything's backwards.
Yep. So if I throw both hands out, then I nail it.
So yeah, and like what I would encourage with this whole series and segment is if there are even some that our viewers may have in mind, throw it out to us. I would absolutely I love collaboration on all of it.
We'll take notes.
Exactly.
Do some studying. We can definitely do that. Um, you know, we got, you know, Lorelai Bigar, you know, she's got, you know, John Wayne Gacy, you know, I mean, she is a bucket of knowledge on that guy. You know,
Oh,
he's big
absolutely.
time, big time. But what we're going after is, like she said, the smaller, lesser known that kind of got shoved on the bookshelf and forgotten about. You know, we want to bring a little attention to them, get a little information, see if their patterns, like you said, you know, resonate with the bigger ones, and they just got caught sooner. Maybe they didn't have enough, you know, as much media attention for some odd reason. Um, I'm interested in seeing how many of them claim to be possessed, because
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, almost every major serial killer, I can't even think of all their names. Um, hey, Carol, uh, you know, they all claim to be possessed by
Or
some.
have other mental deficits that, you know, come into play, whether it be a form of like maybe schizophrenia or schizoaffective disorder. I mean, there's
Yeah,
so many disorders that, you know, who's to say? Yes, science can net out so much, but
yeah,
how do you know there's not a link even with the paranormal or the metaphysical deeply
exactly.
seated within there? I mean, the mind is a very much undiscovered territory.
Exactly. You know, before I got help, I had some voices going on in here, and I literally was ready to go get checked out to see if I was nuts. Some of the things that I was getting told, some of the ideas and thoughts I had, it was scary. It
Yep.
scared the shit out of me. I ain't gonna lie. Um, Eventually, I figured out part of it was that entity, part of it was the entities in the home, but part of it was my guides trying to help me. So I still have voices in my head, but I'm not crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not on the verge of becoming a serial killer either anymore.
Right. Yeah, and that's the other thing. So many of them are now, most of them can be an open book, and they'll tell you everything that led up to, this is why I made my decision. This is what happened. This is, what led me down the path. And, they all talk about there being like a bloodlust, almost like being so anxious that they have to do it in order to feel, satisfied in
Yeah.
that capacity, whatever that capacity may be, anxiety, anger, you know,
Emotion.
yeah, there are various different reasons as to why, they walked down the path that they've walked down.
Right.
And doing a lot of research, leading up to all of this, uh, a most common thread is you have a few that will turn around and make an admission of the guilt. But then you also have those ones who you have to kind of wonder or speculate. It's really kind of up to evidence and judicial system, which we are not.
Right.
But a lot of them will turn around and say, I didn't commit this act. So many potentially be a wrongful conviction.
Okay. You might want to repeat that because you froze.
Oh, well, lovely. Where did I leave off?
You started to talk about wrongful convictions. You were
Mm.
talking about, some people did not admit it, and then you froze.
Yeah, so a lot of them, there's a common thread on a few of them where I've done the research, and they don't make an admission to the murders. They actually state complete innocence. And, I mean, could be.
Could
You
could that be
never
blackout?
know.
Could that be
Exactly.
blackout from being taken over by an entity? Could it be blackout from substance abuse? Until we start digging in, we're not going to know, and we might not ever know. But it's something to check out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm here to tell you the blackouts are a real thing.
Yeah, I mean, it's all worth a review. And then, going through all of this, if we capture the audience and, we have audience participation, there are various angles that everybody can expound upon. you
Yeah,
know
and there may be
there
somebody out there that's having similar issues that don't know what to do or who to talk to.
Right.
Maybe this is going to help them go get some help, if you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah, and you have a good portion of folks who within that list. I've got quite an extensive itinerary lined up for us here, but you know a lot of it, when you start to do some research, their list of what has been proven within the judicial system may only say 5, but then they also turn around and claim, oh no, I've done 30 more, but they're also not releasing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to get a hold of those records.
Oh, absolutely.
A lot of records I'd like to get a hold of right now. Hint.
Well, yeah, and that's the beauty in the research with, some of these smaller convictions and even some that are still pending. Everything is public record. People, you know, forget that. So anything that's been submitted, as long as it is not an active and ongoing investigation and it is closed and there's a conviction, you have right to all of those proceedings
Right.
as the general public.
Yeah, the one I was talking about is not closed and has no conviction as of yet.
Correct. Correct. We're working on that though.
Yes, we are. And
Very
this,
actively.
yeah, this actually kind of rides the coattails of something that Joni does as well. Her team down where she lives in Kentucky, they help on missing persons files,
Mm-hmm.
which most of them are murders. Um, so we might be able to tap her brain a little bit as far as the ones that have been closed and solved, to see if they resemble anything that we're talking about. That might be a good
Right.
show sometime.
Oh, absolutely. I know the last show that you guys had done, we had talked about that collaboration and
Yeah.
actually getting that going.
Yep. Because I believe I figured out that I can pull other people on here. I think I can pull up to 10 people at a shot.
Now that would be an interesting conversation.
Wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? The first time I tried it, I think I was trying to tag the person in the message line instead of the tag line. That's why it wouldn't go. It's a blonde thing.
It happens. It happens.
Because I did the same thing Saturday when I had Brad on, Brad Kenny. I'm sitting here wondering, okay, why isn't this going? Why isn't it sending? Oh, you dumbass. Okay, there we go. Click send.
It's called a learning curve.
It is. It really is. And that show, I mean, it was one of those that if anything could go wrong, it did to try to keep the show from coming on.
Yeah.
I was at work. I got a text, a Facebook post that said power's out in the whole town. I'm like, oh no, I'm off in 10 minutes expecting no power. I get here, stop at Casey's. I'm like, wait, they're not going to have power. They can't sell me cigarettes. Oh, wait, the lights are on. Okay, good. They got the power back on. Gal behind the counter said the number went off. I'm like, okay, then we're good. So I'm here from like 1:15 to 2. We're going to go live at 2. I just get ready to send it and the power goes out. So I got no laptop, I got no Wi-Fi, I got no internet. So I had to scramble to get this working on the phone. There's not enough bandwidth on the phone to get this to work correctly.
Yeah, it's divine timing. I mean, when we initially kind of started making headway into this and we went live many months ago, kind of throwing out, we had a particular person that we were talking about,
Right.
the
Hey,
synchronicities
Melody.
and everything involved. Look at how many issues we encountered. You couldn't even bring me on. I had to
Right.
call in on video from my phone, and everybody could just, you had to hold the phone up the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
Exactly.
those things that are just like, hey, this isn't something you're supposed to be doing right now.
Yeah. Or if it is, you're going to have to put the work in if you want to get this out.
Exactly.
And that's the way that was. I finally went to Facebook Live. Thank God he had a green button. It took 2 or 3 shots, but we finally got the show going. But by that time, you know, everybody saw things weren't working, so nobody watched it. I think
Right.
since it's like 100 and some odd views. So, we got the information out, but it's always better with, audience
Yeah.
participation.
At least you have, the follow up and everything leading up to that. So it does get viewed. It may not be within a
Right.
live capacity, but at
Yeah.
least it does get viewed, and
Right. The
and it's all
information.
right there.
Yeah, the information still gets out, and that's the main thing that we wanted to do. And
Exactly.
I think we got some pretty good information out that day.
I'm
Just
switching
like
over to my power cord.
there
So
you go.
sorry for all the moving.
You're fine. You're fine. Hey, Melody. Hey, Howie. How is it going? If I had a hat on, Howie, I would tip it.
Yes, Howie in his hat. I love that hat.
Yeah. Guys, Howie Odell, The Orion Effect. Go check him out. Go give him a like. Watch his pages. Last night he had a heck of a good show. 2 hours, and I was in the garage wrenching. I was mesmerized sitting there listening. A lot of what his guests went through, I went through. So I mean, it was phenomenal. Go check that out.
Howie can seriously get those cogs rolling.
Absolutely. Yep,
I
him and
mean,
Kat, you bet.
yeah, he's just phenomenal.
Howie and Melody, since you guys just jumped on, words.
I am sorry for this. I am still plugging in and moving, so I
You're
promise
good.
I'll
You're
be all
good.
good in a minute.
All right. Mikey, what we're talking about tonight is, normally me and Joni get on, we do the, what's up with the universe? Why is the universe beating the hell out of me today? But she had something to do, so we're going to do that tomorrow night. So we were going to bring Michelle on after that, but as luck would have it, we could bring her on during normal showtime.
Here we
We
go.
are announcing a new series that we are doing on the Otters Den, kind of a little byproduct. That's what me and Joni's show is.
I'm gonna give you ceiling for a minute.
Okay,
Technical difficulty.
the cool and groovy things. That's a byproduct of the Otters Den. The Otters Den is my the bigger guests. Like Brad Kenny on Saturday. So we got cool and groovy things on Monday, and on Thursdays, I believe it's 7. We are going to have the Forgotten Serial Chronicles, where we are going to be discussing the smaller, lesser-known serial killers that have kind of been forgotten about. Everybody talks about the real big, major, ones that get all the media attention. Well, there's a lot of little ones out there that have gone by the wayside and almost forgotten about. So we're going to bring, hey Renee, we're going to bring some attention back to them. Do some research, see if their patterns match the bigger ones. See how many claim to be possessed by something. Just kind of make it try to make it interesting. We've had this idea. It was Michelle's idea. We've been rolling it around for a long time, trying to figure out how to do it. Wait until I got this running, before I could have a guest on face to face. Thanks to Facebook losing the green button and all of its tech issues. We finally got StreamYard going, and ta-da! Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. Oh, I shouldn't do that. I almost hurt myself.
A little high pitched there.
A little bit. I can go higher. I'm not going to, but I can.
So what you're singing or saying is we should be singing Bohemian Rhapsody someday in the car while on the case.
That would be all right. I'll take the low notes. You take the high notes. How's that?
I may have to do some lemon juice. I don't know.
All right. All right. Yeah, my voice only goes up so high, and then I got to drop back down an octave, try to, match it. And yeah.
Right. So far, I mean, does anybody have like questions or suggestions or things that they necessarily would like to see come out of this?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we are open for suggestions and ideas. This is brand new. We're just getting started, and any ideas and suggestions would be appreciated. There might be a little serial killer out there that we don't know about. Maybe from a different part of the country that we didn't hear about.
Right. And we have a few locals, obviously that are going to make the list. But yeah, with something like this, I would definitely love if anybody was like, hey, have you thought about this aspect? Let's try to find a way to, put the proof within the pudding. Completely open.
Yeah.
No suggestion will be shut down.
Exactly.
Ever.
Yeah, we can look into whatever, if we can find some information on it, great, we'll put it out. If we can't, well, we'll start digging some more, and in the meantime, we'll work on something else that we can put out. Well, nobody's throwing nothing up there, so here, let me throw something up. Hey, Howie, watch what I figured out that I could do. Boom! Dig it!
I love that.
Yeah, and I think I can get like a scrolling banner too. I need to look into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm still learning the program, but this is kind of like the OBS that the spirit mechanics use. It might not be as high tech and have as many bells and whistles, but I think it's working just fine, almost with less problems, except for the fact that Joni needs a new phone and she knows it.
Sometimes those are things we can't fix right away.
Right, new phone or more bandwidth, and that would help with the connection issues and the echoing.
Yeah.
Are either one of us echoing, or is the voice and the video coming out okay? That's one thing I forgot to ask. We might be the only ones still here. I don't know. Ka-ching.
And no, we're not.
It can wait. Is there anybody out there?
Oh, really? It was interesting, and I meant to mention it yesterday, but as I was kind of going through things and,
Thanks,
uh,
Peggy.
creating my list and, you know, kind of working out everything that I wanted to present even for tonight, because obviously I'm not going to divulge too much until Thursday.
Right. Thanks,
Um,
guys. Hi, Melissa. Hey, Deanna. How you doing?
but it was funny because as I was, obviously I don't smoke in the house, I smoke outside. And as I had the radio going, the first song that popped on was Paint It Black, which is the song that I always have on my playlist when I'm doing, for whatever reason, it just connects.
That song came through yesterday a couple times. I don't like the Rolling Stones. I don't. I never have. I don't know why. I just don't like the band. I think it's the vibration of
Sure.
the tones, the notes that they chose. Um, but that they kept coming on. So I'd switch stations. Guess what? There they are again. Paint it black.
Well, there's a reason for that.
There's the reason for it.
Yeah, I often find that when I'm doing work of that particular variety,
Thanks,
that
girl.
I have to transition that vibration, because in order to essentially do all of this, you have to make your mindset that of them, which is a very deep and dark, low vibrational place.
Yeah, and I can do that on my own because I felt I've spent so much time in that place. I can. It was really cool at one of the Lincoln Metaphysical shows. They had those aura cameras, and you sit down and you put your hand on a sensor, and it measures your aura. Shows you your aura and measures your energy. And I'm like, okay, Steve told me I could do this. Let's try it. So I'd raise my vibration and it would go up, the meter would go up, and I'd lower it and it would go down. And the lady's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm playing." And she goes, "No, you're showing off."
I've never done anything like not visually, anyways.
Yeah, it was cool. I had fun with it. I had fun with her. Her helper was kind of like, "Look at this."
Yeah, it'll be nice when we can start getting to, some of the venues
Yeah,
together and going through, all of it. And I mean, my goodness, I'm always, oh, I'll soak in any knowledge you want to, push in my direction.
absolutely. Yeah, I can't wait till everything gets to opening back up.
Yeah.
A couple states have already opened everything back up. No restrictions. They're starting to see the light. Um, Once we get more opened up, then we can start getting the venues. Scarefest next year.
Yes, definite.
There's one in Kansas City. There's one in Colorado,
Colorado, yeah.
Omaha. There's a big one in Omaha. So we can start going to those, set up our booth. And if I win the lottery, I know a gal that's got an aura camera.
Let's hit the lottery.
No doubt. The interesting thing about those taking your aura color is you can sit down, take the picture, go outside, have a cigarette, go across the street, have a beer, whatever, come back, sit down, and it's going to be different
Oh yeah.
because things have changed.
Yep.
It changes. I'll leave it at that. Let's get back on subject. I'm squirreling.
That's okay, because you know what? Actually, that could compound just right into our topic. I mean, when you're talking about energetic shifts such as that,
Yeah.
uh, we all know that everybody's aura makeup is different.
Hmm.
You know, you have sticky ones, you have, some so expanded, such as my dad.
Yeah.
Everybody has a different
Very
personal,
close. Yeah.
yeah, everybody has their own personal cloak, as I like to call it. And what would be extremely interesting in that capacity is
What the serial killers would be seen as.
right. So, like how many different elements go into effect when, just like you said, you can be in a completely one condition, walk out the door, and the moment you hit the door, you could be in another.
You're not wrong.
And
You
it
are not
all
wrong.
leads right back up to thought process. It leads, it all compounds into environmental factors. There are just so many aspects.
The planets.
Yeah.
Look at
Phases,
how.
moon phases.
Yeah, there. I think it's Mars is going direct right now. I could be wrong, my memory, but it's like going direct tomorrow, I believe. Um, Part of that planet going direct is little mini temper tantrums. Let me tell you what, today has been an interesting day. I'm going to leave it at that. So you've got an entity inside somebody possessing them. Guess what? Snap, boom, that thing's in, you're out. It can
Yeah.
happen that quick.
Or even, again, leading back to the mental disorders
Mhm.
and factors. I mean, all of that
Yeah.
can shift so much. And just being in the healthcare field, you see how much of that actually gets excluded. I fully believe, this is just an opinion, that, you know, mentally ill patients, or just ill patients, uh, you know, how little access to the right help they have.
Yeah, because your doctors, your psychiatrists, they are looking for some kind of physical
Right.
thing that's wrong with you, something wrong with your brain,
Yeah,
which
something that
leads
can be
to
scientifically proven beyond a doubt.
yes, yes. And when you're having paranormal issues, metaphysical issues, your gifts are coming in. They're not going to find anything. They're going to tell you you're fine. You're just crazy. No, you're not. You're coming into your gifts. You're hearing your guides. You're hearing the spirits around you. You're seeing people. Yeah, you are seeing people. You're seeing across the veil. Um, my grandmother on my dad's side was put into an asylum for some kind of schizophrenia. I'm still looking for the specific one. Um, she heard voices.
Hmm.
Well, now I know where I get my gifts from.
Right. I
You know,
mean,
I
yeah,
have.
we've talked about, just not that long ago, about, those brands of thinking, the schizoaffective and the schizophrenia.
Mhm.
Who is anyone to say that that is not of a paranormal or even a metaphysical variety,
Yeah.
whether it be divine or lesser divine?
How many people have been thrown into an asylum and so severely medicated they're a walking zombie over the
Yeah.
past how many decades, um, that may have just been gifted.
Yeah. Well, and to take it, bleed right in with our subject matter. How many times in the judicial system do you have, I plea insanity, because it's a plea. But then you're having all of these physicians and psychologists, just like you said, turn around and complete competency tests.
Yeah.
Well, oftentimes, and law has always been kind of a thing for me, um, even though I'm in healthcare. But when you're conducting said competency tests on murders or even family, I mean, the insanity plea to me is almost an outdated practice, because in order to commit that crime and take somebody else's life in a non-defensive manner, and even in a defensive manner, it's mentally tolling. And if you're talking killers, it's the lead up, it's the thought process. That's where they try to define the premeditation versus non-premeditation.
Yeah.
There are just so many avenues and aspects that I think is untapped market, so to speak, because nobody really dives in like they used to.
Right.
They give it a quick label, they give you medication. Again, you just said it. Being in the healthcare field, how do you know that that does not neurologically recomposition to where you could be compliant with just about everything? Is the sun yellow and green or purple? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at our healthcare practices all leading up to that. I mean, some things that were deemed acceptable ages ago that are no longer acceptable now. I mean,
Yeah. They used to, we had a facility here in Beatrice where I work. Um, it's a special care facility for mentally challenged people. At one time to give them showers, they would line them up, chain them up in the hallways, and get the fire hoses out.
and hose them down.
That's how they would give them showers. The treatment that these people got was just horrendous.
Mm-hmm.
And centuries ago, they would throw women in the clink for reading a book. You're reading a book, you're crazy, you're going away. I looked at a list of the things that people would used to get thrown in the crazy bin for, and it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
And when you find those people, I used to deliver when I was young, early on in my healthcare career. I'm pharmacy. I've been pharmacy for ages. I've transitioned throughout retail pharmacy to nursing home pharmacy. And when I was within that specialty niche, I would have to deliver to Alzheimer's units. And, you would go in, and what is completely terrible, I'll never forget it. There was a gal who walked up to me, didn't know me from Adam, and she hugged me and said, "Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever." And I just played right along with it, as traumatic as it was at my young age. Um, but then you start to recognize that they are also left off the radar. They're not getting the I love yous, the compassion, the care, the human emotion, the want and need fulfillment to be needed or simply cared about.
You are correct. Hey, Pam, how you doing? Um, Shannon used to work in an Alzheimer's unit, when we first met and got together. And I went to her work with her a couple times. Either she'd have to go get something, but I was allowed to go back on the unit with her. And I was simply amazed with her ability to work with these people. She took it on a different aspect. Instead of being a healthcare worker trying to take care of them, she would crawl into their world.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Daisy, you want to play jacks? Okay, so she'd get on the floor while keeping an eye on everybody else, and she would play jacks with no jacks and no ball, but she would play jacks with this person. She would be somebody's daughter. She would be somebody's husband. But she went into their world instead of expecting them to come into our world. People with dementia, same thing. My dad, for several years I'd go see him, and I was everybody but me. I was my sister. I was my Uncle Eddie. Um, but he knew he had a son because he'd tell me about me. Like, yeah, no, Dad, I'm right here. Oh, okay, okay. Love you. See you later.
Yeah, see, and like that's a common synchronicity between the two of us is my grandfather had dementia. I know we've discussed it. And I remember going down to see him because I'd always stop. I delivered from the pharmacy to where he was, and I'd always take him KFC. That was absolutely his favorite thing.
Yeah,
And I remember sitting there with him, and he fell asleep, and his face landed in mashed potatoes. And he looked up, and this was actually the creation of why I started going down this road.
yeah,
But he looked up at me, and he goes, "You just tried to kill me." So he literally thought I was drowning him in his mashed potatoes and gravy from KFC.
yeah.
The overthinker that I am
Yep.
spawned like this whole creation of, well, hey,
Right.
as
At,
weird
at
as it is.
at the time it was tough, but now I can look back on it and I can see how I like Shannon. I went into his world. Okay, tonight I'm a sister. I'm good with that. I know it's that, and I apologize. We didn't know we were going to get on that road.
This is typical Keith and I conversation. One
Yeah.
leads to another and another, and then eventually we round about right back to where we started.
Main subject, which for those who just popped on, again, normally it's me and Joni on Monday night doing Life of Planet beating the hell out of us. Tonight Michelle's on because we are going to have an extension of the Otters Den on Thursday nights at 7, called the Forgotten Serial Chronicles, where we're going to start talking about the smaller, lesser-known serial killers that have been put on a shelf and forgotten about. So we're going to bring some attention to them and maybe bring a few more details out about them, maybe some evidence that hasn't been brought up yet, and see if their MOs, compared to the big time MOs.
Or even unsolved.
Unsolved, yes, those two. Ooh, I like that one.
Yeah.
I like because we can. Oh, my mind's turning now. Looking at arrest records that might fit that pattern. Oh my, girl.
Or even just those things out there because these people are forgotten. Um, Even the ones who have committed, horrendous acts.
Hmm.
But the victims. So if you have a list of victims, eventually patterns start to emerge. They may span across states, counties, jurisdictions, that they
Exactly.
just never finally get connected for one reason or another.
Yeah, we can look at missing persons cases. From decades ago, like maybe within a 1 or 2 years time span that go across the country and see if that
Yeah,
MO adds up. Does it sound like somebody's typing?
it does. I kind of noticed that myself. It's like, funny. Here we talk about interference.
Okay. Hang on. I think it's just when I'm talking. Talk.
Hello.
Say a sentence or two.
Uh, I like strawberries in the summer.
I like strawberries in the summer.
It is you.
It is me. Why? My hands are here. Am
Yeah,
I?
and it's only when you talk it starts to crackle.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, those are the patterns we're talking about.
Okay.
And for those of you just joining, we are asking for heavy collaboration and participation. So if there's, a particular topic, which we're going to unveil each one every Thursday, and see what your thoughts may be, questions, if there's an aspect of this where you would like us to go, a direction that would, you know entice you more to be involved or whatever it may be, message anytime. The line is open, and we are willing to take all of those suggestions and make this show geared towards the information you want to receive.
Yeah. Kind of like, special request.
Yeah. Or again, as Keith had mentioned earlier, if there's somebody that hasn't made the list that you have in mind, let us know.
Yeah.
We will make sure that that we get that.
And girl, I'm relying on you for this because you got all the knowledge on this. I don't.
I got you.
That's all I ask. Sonny and Cher just popped in my head.
I got you, babe.
It's playing. It's playing. Can't make this up.
No. Nope.
I can still hear his nasally voice.
So yeah, again, if there are any questions that you have leading up to this, we do intend on going live on Thursday.
Huh?
Throw 'em in.
I don't know if you saw this comment or not. I'm gonna throw it up.
Oh, Pam. We
That
need to
sounds like
talk.
that sounds like Gacy.
I have another one in mind.
Okay.
I definitely do. I've got
Okay.
one on my list that has an MO that actually fits that. Let's talk, Pam.
I just got jeebies again.
It's a sign.
I think it is. Hey, I got a little higher that time. Hey, we gotta have a little humor.
Exactly. We're talking about such a dark topic. And when we go into these, yeah, we're going to have to rely heavily upon each other because again, getting into that mind frame and dissecting everything that's going to be dissected and discussed, it's a very low vibrational place.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to be there.
No, it's difficult to work in that mind frame. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
In a lot of the cases we go on, I deal with the lower levels, and that's why I always want you keeping an eye on me. And if there's anything that's not right about me, you call Steve,
I haven't failed that yet.
and it's appreciated.
Again, I got you, babe.
I'm gonna start singing it here in a minute, and we don't want that. I got you, babe.
There you go. Perfect. That was perfect.
60s. That was before I was born. Well, like not real. I was born in '69, so. But
Yeah, and that was, speaking of years, I totally forgot to mention that. That was going to be one of my strategies was take the years and work it forward.
oh, okay.
So yeah, I mean, I have not an issue going out of sequence if somebody's like, "Hey, I want this." Okay, I'll give it to you.
Well, maybe we can talk with Pam on the side, see what year that was,
Yeah,
and go forward from there in that general vicinity and start spreading out.
absolutely. Yeah, I definitely want to have that discussion. Because as you start to link these things together again, uh you're looking towards closure for some.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
that's mighty important. I have one of the first ones that I had started investigating that I'm not going to disclose. His one of the victim's uncles runs the park that's by my house. And that was when I first started, conducting, because he's the caretaker. He's always there every month. And so,
Yeah.
I would kind of watch, and the park is named after the victims. And, you know, as you're talking to them, it's also kind of a therapy for them, because it's not all dark talk. It's literally about, when you're conducting these interviews and doing the investigations, while you have all your court records and you have all the details, and all the stuff about how it proceeded, which is gruesome, you also have that flip coin of, when you're conducting interviews and talking to family members who are willing to talk, it's always in a very uplifting, I remember this. This is my best memory. This is why I keep this candle alive. And it's not so much for closure, because in that instance that I'm talking about, that has been closed and handled and dealt with. However, you never really want them to be forgotten, hence the
Right.
word forgotten.
Yes. I love it. That is awesome. And Pamela, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Um,
Yeah.
maybe we can get something figured out on that. I don't know. Oh,
Yeah, and it's always very traumatic. None of it is easy. My cat's going to be joining our conversation here very shortly.
I'm good with that. I love cats. They walk both sides of the veil. They protect us.
He sure does. Yeah, so yeah. There's my little buddy.
Hey, what's up?
And
Woo,
he's purring away.
likes that voice. I tell you what.
Yeah.
I get that, Pam. I do. It is kind of liberating talking about things you've been through once you get it worked through enough to where you can. That's just like me and my possession and what happened. The things I used to do, not only to myself but to people. I can do that now. I've found peace. I've forgiven myself. I've forgiven others. Now it's just, here's this information. Maybe it's going to help somebody.
Right.
That's the way I look at it. If anybody wants to think I'm crazy, if anybody wants to think I was an asshole, guess what? I was an asshole.
And that's always been the goal of even our team, which I have very much appreciated, is, we're all very like-minded, and that's the goal, is to help, no matter
Yeah,
what that form of help may be.
yeah. We're here to help people. Um, the team, helping with people with paranormal issues. Me and Joni putting out, why is the universe beating the hell out of us today?
Yeah.
Me and you doing this now. Um, it gets to help people, to educate people, to maybe figure something out for some people. We don't know
Yeah.
yet. Wouldn't that be cool if
Yeah.
we solved some unsolved cases?
Yeah, and going, back to the help factor. We've talked about it. We did take a poll within, the Cobra Paranormal site. We're
Yeah.
going to start doing the stone and card of the week again, and getting that up. And, again, I encourage, if you ever see me posting on there, by all means, send me a message. I am more than happy to help with any readings or stone questions that you may have. I'm completely open.
Same. And if I don't know the answer, I'll get back to you.
Yeah. I mean, the whole goal is to all be able to be unified and zen and know what's going on and have this,
Raise everybody's vibration.
vibration. Yeah. See?
And when you raise your vibration enough, I can feel it right now. It's like you know how when you walk into an oppressed room and that pressure just pushes your chest in. This is opposite.
Yeah.
It's radiating outward, and it is the most phenomenal feeling. I can't explain it.
And
But
it's like a heart is full.
yeah, think of a Care Bear, shining out that rainbow.
The Care Bear
Love and
stare.
light. That's what it feels like. It's just love, light, higher vibration is just
Yeah.
it's pushing out. And when I can get myself to that point, it's phenomenal. It's calming. It's I'm smiling.
Yeah. And yeah, outside of all of this, even set aside from this project that we're discussing
Yeah.
and launching, if there's topics or there's, an idea that you're like, I want to know about this. Shoot us a line.
Absolutely.
Shoot us a line. We'll do a show on it. We'll do research. We'll do whatever it is that that you may need. We're here for you. That's the biggest message that I can convey.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm a yapper.
Normally, I'm very quiet, but sometimes if I get with the right people in the right conditions, I just
I could
go.
go for hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very
Y'all should see some of our team meetings.
oh, I'm a very introverted person. I don't like being out in the public. I don't like being around people. I work with the public all day. When I come home, I'm in my den. I'm in my castle. But like I said, if I get with the right people in the right place, even away from here, I'm very extroverted. I love having a good time. I love conversation, but it's got to be proper conversation, my proper conversation, not 45 minutes of what you shop in Walmart for.
I never go to Walmart.
You go down to the bar to have a beer. You walk in, you sit down. It's calm. You can relax, and all of a sudden, the political stuff starts.
Oh.
It's
And
like,
how low vibration
yep.
is all of this? I mean, I'm not saying anything wrong, but
You got to be in the right mood.
I'm so ready for it to be over. I'm so tired of the hate ads against each other. I'm so
It's
tired of
yeah.
the collective United States arguing. It's like, enough.
There's a specific reason for it right now on this one, on this particular time. I'm not going to say election. I'm going to say time. We are again with the vibrational level. We are dividing. So
Oh,
many people in this country and actually worldwide have been, and I said this before, shut in all year with
oh
their
yeah.
families, with their kids. They've been forced to do their shadow work, look at themselves and say, oh, wow, I need to work on this. And when they do, their vibration grows, which helps the collective. So the ones that aren't doing that are vibrating lower, and the ones that are vibrating higher. It's a division. The ones that are vibrating higher, we're going to get a special gift. We're going to get some freedom. The ones that are vibrating lower, they're going to be stuck here for another 26,500 years of karmic BS.
Yeah.
We're going to get to go home.
Eventually, I mean, like, you can already start to feel the tides shifting.
Yeah.
At this point.
Yeah.
But it is sad. It's very sad. It's a very sad state that we are all segregated. When you look at it, it's a not just a pandemic
No.
thing.
No.
It's race. It's sexual
In
orientation. It's political. Like, there are so many levels of segregation going on right now that
it's biblical.
everything
The
is going.
evil is seen as good, and the good is seen as evil.
Yeah.
It's another look at all the biblical events, okay, that has happened. The natural disasters, this, that, the other thing, the plagues of locusts overseas. I mean, the red tides. It's kind of all right here.
Mm-hmm. And yet, so many things that we don't even hear about because it's not discussed.
Yeah, the media doesn't want to put it out.
Exactly. The media filters everything geared towards specific things. And it's kind of like reading things on the internet sometimes, just like that old commercial was. You always believe everything you read on the internet? We. I mean, that's kind of when my dad, he'll get very into news and media, and it gets very overwhelming for him.
Yeah.
And I just look at him as a calm reminder, and I'll say we, and then he gets the hint, and then we're totally off that topic, and life can move on. There's the cattail.
Yeah, I saw that. You're getting a little tail there.
Yeah. Finally.
Yes. But I believe that's called the rapture, when the elevated and the more divine
Yep.
are sent and the others are not. Is it
It
going to
truly
happen?
is.
I don't
Like the
know.
whole book series and movie series that I'm going to say evangelical writer had let out. It was called the Left Behind series. And when you read it, that literally, it may not literally be, these people are disappearing and these ones, but in a sense, when you think about that on a deeper level, they are. Their basic human composition, who they were at the root before all of this started, is almost not recognizable.
Yeah, I'm completely different. I had missing time. I ended up in a different spot in the country after my truck cut out and died. And I now have a X-ray verified foreign object in my hand that the doctors cannot tell me what it is. So, is that so they can find me easier when it's time? Is it the ones who planted us here that are going to come get us and take us home to the new Earth? Who
Yeah,
knows?
why haven't we launched our conspiracy page yet? Because we are headed down the rabbit hole here.
Well, you know what? Maybe that's why this is
Folks,
coming up.
this could be a horizon.
It could be an event horizon.
Right?
Maybe it's time to look into launching the Cobra Paranormal conspiracy page.
We could. We would have to bring in our very other gifted teammate, as that is very much his mojo.
Charlie. Oh, I got a
Charlie.
little bit in here. Let me tell you.
Yeah, the three of us on conspiracy theories. Oh boy.
And then you get the public in there. It could be a shit show. Just saying.
It literally could be.
Sometimes those are fun though. Really.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they can be
Absolutely.
very negative and drag you down, but sometimes they can just be funny because you sit there and read it and I'm a conspiracy theorist, but some of the stuff that they put out is like no, moving on.
Right? Next.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, do we happen to have any like last minute questions, comments, or anything? I've got a little one to get ready to feed some supper to.
Yep, and I got a 302 forward to put together.
Yeah,
At least a
work
little
them
bit more.
bugs out.
And I got a couple of messages I got to return because I just got another one from a previous client. So
Hey,
it must be the night.
it must be.
Oh, nope, never mind. Conspiracy theory. We're good.
That's always good.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, if you guys view this and you think of something after the fact, again, send the message, send the friend request. However, whatever format I follow,
Yep.
we all follow both messages within Cobra and Otters Den, so it will reach us
Absolutely.
most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah. Hit them up on the Otters Den, Cobra Paranormal, whichever one. We'll get back to you. Might not be right away, but we will get back to you. We got jobs, we got this, we got that, we got lives, but we get back to you as soon as we can. So, on that note, I don't see any questions coming forward. So, I am going to take my little mouse in my little hand and go up and hit the red end broadcast button. Thanks, Peggy. Appreciate that. Hang on. I gotta do that. I gotta do that.
Thanks, Peggy.
Very much. It's very much appreciated.
Absolutely.
All right. Before I jump off here, as a reminder, me and Joni will be on tomorrow night at 7 to let you know why the planets are beating the hell out of us tonight. Okay? So tune in, see you at 7 tomorrow. And thank you for tuning in tonight and sticking around. And we will see you Thursday night.
Thursday.
7. All right?
Perfect.
I was going to say same bat time, same bat channel.
same bat place.
Just different bat day.
Exactly. When we're all batshit crazy.
All right. We'll catch everybody later.
Night, guys.